Hi everyone, I'm Hayley. I'm always in the craft room and I'm back with another Friday Sews. I have been very busy in the craft room this week, but not working on the things you thought I was going to work on because I'm a contrary soul, and even though I told you all the things I was going to do, I did something completely different. So, the Berda trousers are in the naughty pile. So is the broderie anglaise dress. I can't anymore. I can't look at them. I can't unpick them. I can't mess with them. So I went to put them in the work in progress box, which is where I keep all the things that are in the naughty corner. And what do you know? I found this. And it was like 3/4 done. We've talked before about how I have a pretty terrible memory. And the good thing about that is I've forgotten why I fell out with this project. Found it in the box. Happy days. So this was a dress. It's a Nanny Iro fabric that I purchased from Stone Fabrics. Absolutely love it. But I made it into a dress and it just never worked. I like the dress in theory. In practice, it was a weird combination of too big at the neckline so it looked sloppy, but also choking me. Don't even know how that is possible, but that dress somehow managed it. I'm not going to tell you the pattern because I don't want to be rude about the pattern because it probably was just me. Anyway, last summer it was a dress. I kept trying to wear it. I kept trying to love it. I couldn't. So obviously towards the end of the summer, I decided to refashion it. And I must have got halfway through and either I fell out with it for some forgotten reason, or maybe the weather changed and I was no longer inspired to make a summery top. But what I have turned it into kind of is the Pattern Scout Flora. So I bought this pattern last summer, made a Flora top as per the pattern, which has a gorgeous pleated front. It's so pretty. But anyway, this is not the Flora as intended. This is a hack. And we all know why. I had to do this because I didn't have enough fabric. Yeah. As I say, this was a fully finished dress. It was quite a boxy one. But when I laid out the Flora pattern piece, there was no way I was going to get a full-size Flora off of that dress. So what I did instead was I laid out the pattern piece on the full width of the dress and traced the shape of the front, because you will notice that here it's got some really lovely shaping around the armhole. So I traced that and just left this middle section as wide as I could. On the original pattern piece, because of all the pleating, that is really wide. I did not have the width available to do those pleats. So instead, I never know how to say this word. Shirred it. I did that thing where you put elastic in the bobbin and then it smooches it all up. And I love it. I love it. I know it looked tiny on the hanger, but I swear, still going wrong with the left and the right, eh? It's super stretchy. It honestly, I know it looks a bit miniature, but it does fit, I promise. I will put some footage in as well. So the top of the Flora top, you are supposed to use a bias strip, and again, I never know this word. It's not like a binding, so it doesn't go all the way around, but it's also not facing because you stitch it down. But you're supposed to use a bias strip to finish this edge, long story short. I knew this would kind of ripple, and I didn't want it to be too thick and bunchy. So I just overlocked, turned, stitched. Simple. And yet the straps are exactly per the pattern, except obviously I cut them the length of the pattern, pinned them on, checked the length, fiddled with it, basted them on, fiddled with it, unpicked them. You know how it goes. Anyway, I'm very happy with the length now. And what a cute summer top, no? And the best thing about the Flora is you don't need to worry about your bra straps. when I was positioning the bra straps and checking the length, not the bra straps, the top straps, I was paying attention to where my bra fell. But yeah, can't see any straps with this. And it's actually really comfy because of the shirring. Now, back to the bad memory. I had done a version of this last year, again, refashioning something I didn't like into a Flora, but with shirring. So I knew I could do it. I knew it would look good. Could I remember how to shirr? No, I could not. Nothing about it. I tried doing a few little tests on my machine and the fabric wasn't gathering at all. So then I thought, maybe it doesn't gather until you steam it, or maybe it doesn't gather until you've got quite a few rows. Anyway, I tried for a bit, I fiddled with it, and then thankfully I did remember that I watched a video from Rachel of Stitched Up all about how to shirr on her machine, which is very similar to my machine. So I have a Faf Ambition and she has a Faf Creative Icon, I think. So similar. And her top tip, and I'm going to link the video below because this is the video that meant I was ever able to share at all. But her top tip was to wind the bobbin with the elastic thread using your normal bobbin winder on your machine. And everything I had ever read or heard on the internet before had said, hand wind your bobbin. And she said on her machine that did not provide enough tension. So I wound it using my bobbin winder and it worked. Now I have worked out why my first attempt didn't work. And that is because I just went in my bobbin drawer, as I normally do, to pull out the matching bobbin. And I pulled out last year's bobbin of shirring elastic. And I think over the intervening 5-6 months, it had lost its tension. So when I started again from the beginning, following Rachel's tutorial and wound a fresh bobbin, as soon as I put that in, it worked. So Rachel's top tip is wind your bobbin using your machine. My top tip is freshly wind a bobbin every time. And I have another tip, which is just a time-saving one. So Rachel tells you to do it the proper way, which is do a round of shirring, stop, cut your threads, finish off, pull them all back through the machine, start a new round, go again. This is just a little summer top. I couldn't be bothered with that. So what I did was I went around, got back to the side seam, left my needle down, turned and just did 2 stitches down and then went round again. Got back, 2 stitches down, went round again. So this is literally one continuous row of stitching and shirring elastic. I did run out my bobbin. You go through a lot of elastic, don't you? I ran out halfway through. So inside, I have actually just tied the ends together and like woven them in. So I hope that holds. But yeah, that made it an awful lot quicker because the starting and stopping, I just think, oh, that seemed like a lot of work. So I literally, the side seams were already sewn, but I still ran this top up in like 2 evenings. So pleased, and I hadn't even remembered I'd got it in the work in progress box. So who knows? One day I might be thrilled to find those birder trousers where I wanted to make view B and I cut out view A. What else have I been up to this week? So does anyone remember my crazy shoe experimentation? I had some sandals that would not stay on my feet. Like the back strap kept falling down. And I showed you how I was going to modify them with some elastic. And I've done it, but I've also done it a bit differently than I said. So my original plan that I showed you all kind of pinned was to take a piece of elastic, sewn here, looped there, back to there, and then looped on this side as well. And I did initially sew it like that as a test. And it worked. It worked. It held my shoe on like all day, walked around and it checked it perfect. But it was super visible on this side. So if you can imagine, my foot goes in like that. This is my instep. You can barely see. You can barely see this when I'm walking. It's like basically under my foot. But this piece of elastic looped around this bit and then up to the back here was really visible, and yeah, it wasn't the most attractive. So, having done one shoe with the elastic all the way around, the second shoe, I tried this arrangement, which is elastic. It's actually bra strap with a plush side, so it's really comfy. Sewn there, looped around this front bit, and then to the back, because there was no way my machine was going through shoe leather. What I did here was it's actually fold over elastic just because it was the best colour match I could find. Literally just done a loop of fold over elastic, and I've hand stitched around the fold over elastic, and I've gone through the bra strap as well, just so that it's focusing on my face, isn't it? Sorry. There you go. I've gone through both layers of elastic just so if these stitches fail, it's still gripping onto something. But you know what? Even if it does fail while I'm walking around, I'm just back to a pair of shoes that are fine but slightly annoying because this droops. So I've done both of them, and yeah, it works. I can't believe it. I'm so pleased because I really love these shoes, and I do think they're the right size because my foot is correctly positioned on the footbed. If I went down a size in order to make this snugger, my feet would be hanging off, so that's not good. I think maybe I've just got narrow ankles or something, and that's why they keep falling off, because I do have narrow wrists, so I think it's probably that. The other thing I said I was going to do, and I did do it, gold star for me please, was a new peg bag. That doesn't look great, does it? Should we hang it there? So I know it's kind of gigantic, but as I laid out, should I show you my old one? Those of you who watch Friday Shows regularly have already seen this. It's disgusting. Yeah, so it obviously was a lot smaller before, and you can see it's drooped because it was just overstuffed with too many pegs. So my husband said, just make it loads bigger. Just stick 6 inches on the bottom. So that's what I did. I do now wonder if I'm going to be really like digging to get a peg. If that is the case, I can just turn it inside out and whiz it through the overlocker and take a bit off. But I thought, can always take a bit off. You can't always add a bit on, can you? And I do have a lot of pegs. So pleased that's done. It really did not take long at all. And I've just now noticed all the birds are upside down. Oops. 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 Even on the back, they're upside down. Oh well. No one will ever notice, and it'll probably be mouldy and disgusting within a year anyway. You win some, you lose some. At least it's done. Speaking of jobs I don't want to do, another one has surfaced. My kids wear a school uniform because we're British, and 2 days a week they actually wear PE kits to school because they do PE, and that consists of black leggings on the bottom, and yeah, we've got a hole in the knee. But don't worry, it's summer now, they need some shorts. So what I need to do is just cut them off slightly above the hole and hem them on my cover stitch. So that will actually be a really quick job, and it will be perfect for the last few weeks of term because these leggings, they don't last long. They really do get hammering 2 full days a week, and they're black, which never washes the best, does it? So if I can extend these to the end of the school year and save the world having to manufacture shorts for them and save me having to buy them, then that's a win, isn't it? So I will get on with that too this week. I think that's about it for me. I've had a fun week doing a few itty bitty projects. I don't know what's next on the agenda. I like to flip from one thing to another, don't I? So leggings, and we'll see. I hope everyone's had a good week, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.